Shalom, shalom, shalom. Of course, praise and glorification to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, and YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. Call YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, and praise and glorification to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, and of course, get the bar to the possible millstone to you well. And kind of doing a little touch up on what we're going into yesterday. Mainly about prophecy. Because most other groups, when they encounter someone on the street, they really don't go into they mainly talk about the laws, statutes, commandments. Basically trying to order them to convince them that they're Israelites. By telling them things they need to do. But that's not really how you go about convincing someone to the faith. Really, you can't even really convince someone to the faith. Of course, the elect got to get into it, no matter what they hear. But if you really want to be a proper fisher of men, you had to go to the prophecy. You had to go into prophecy. The word of YAHAWASHI, you want to convince the flock. Because that's more relatable, on a carnal aspect, because that's more obvious. People can see that more than, the law, statutes, commandments. HALAHYAM. Every time, man. Every time. But this is the book of 1 Corinthians 14 and 24. But if all prophesy, and there cometh one that believeth not, or one unlearned, he is convinced of all, he is judged of all. And thus are the secrets of his heart made manifest, and so falling down on his face, he will worship YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and report that Yahweh is in you of a truth. That kind of happened yesterday. Of course, I wasn't there at the moment. I was taking the train there. At that time. By listening to it on my phone. Because the elder man came up and he was hearkening to the word of the Lord. It was something with his spirit. He was getting it, which is good. Lost your spirit, O Lord. He was being convinced. If he came up yelling at him, but lost, saying, "Where your fringes at, brother? Get dropped that pork, brother." He wouldn't really get it, But again, that's how you fish. Just spirit of YAHAWASHI. You tell them what things soon to come. The MOTB, the C-HIP, what's going on, and most people nowadays can see that. Because most people are in the news. Well, not really in the news, just in looking into what's really going on. These I forgot the exact term for it, but these off-grid news sites and all that, they're into that. More people are into that. So with all this Wisdom Nigel saying coming out about the lease plan and all that, they get it. And they start to see that the word of the Lord is true, because aligning with what the scriptures say. So in order really to convince the flock, we got to go into prophecy. Not overwhelm them either, just to build them in the faith of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Book of Revelation 19:10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that had the testimony of YAHWASHI. Worship Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, for the testimony of YAHWASHI is a spirit of prophecy. But the main point is that, hey, the spirit of prophecy is a testimony of YAHWASHI, the word of YAHAWASHI. You know? That's what it is. And by us preaching and by us teaching it, you know, it got soap the flock more because that's literally the words of YAHAWASHI. Now, of course, the law is also the word of YAHAWASHI, but again, the law, the laws of the old covenant, we're trying to push the grace of Lord YAHAWASHI, we're trying to push the mercy of Lord YAHAWASHI. We're not trying to condemn them in the sense that they just feel like shit, The most Jake, you tell Jake what to do, they're not gonna listen to you, So hey, there's a way about going about teaching, because many people are just in the mindset you have to tell everyone what to do, because the word of the Lord, which is true, but you can't just immediately slam them with it, You gotta convince them first. Then, when they start believing, then you gotta tell them what they have to do. Like Acts 15, low when I get that, but first look at this. The book of Galatians 3, and I'll start verse 1. O foolish Galatians, who will bewitch you, that ye should not obey the truth, before whose eyes Yahawashi and Mashiach have been evidently set forth, crucified among you. This is only what I learn of you. Receive ye the Spirit by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith? The how do you believe? By the word? The works of the law? Keeping this, supposedly keeping the Sabbath day holy. Not eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, or was it the fact that you figured out that you're Israelite? Or was it the fact that you figured out the word of the Lord is real? And the prophecies are real, that judgment's coming, that the end times are here. Did that convince you, or hearing about not eating shrimp, crab, lobster convince you? Nah, it's here, seeing and hearing that the word of Yahawashi is happening before us. That what convinced us. Now, of course, I'm not saying you shouldn't keep the law. Of course, you should, to the best of your ability. But at the end of the day, you gotta realize that, you gotta realize the fact that it's more focused on the grace of Lord Yahawashi, because, again, that's the thing that's important. It's the thing that's gonna save you at the end of the day. That's the thing that's gonna deliver you at the end of the day. That's the thing that made you believe in the first place at the end of the day. Not the law, you know? But again, this is a stumbling block. Yahawashi is a stumbling block to the house of Israel. So us not focusing mainly on the law is a stumbling block to people. Because people really can't get that because, focusing on the grace of Lord Yahawashi, because that's the thing, that's really the thing, really. You see with these people who focus on law, they're more flabbergant, boastful, proud, out there with microphones, loud, thing of that. Not doing it in righteousness, not doing it rightly. But people who focus on the grace of Lord Yahawashi, they're meek, they're like sheep, We're telling you the truth. We ain't here looking all intimidating, with the microphone, with a big group of people. We just a few men on the side of the road teaching, and preaching the word Yahawashi. And people can't really get that because people may find it boring, unentertaining, whatever the case may be, man. That's how the Lord made a difference between, the real truth and, falsehood. People preaching truth and people preaching lies. People preaching lies are more, out there. But people preaching truth, are hidden. Now I just want to make mention of that because that's something I noticed. You know? But only at the end of the day, the Lord can see us like whoever they may be. You know, that's why YAHAWASHI, and then we're here and knowing this truth and this with not just understanding. You know? It's a lot for a little ramble, but you know. At the end of the day, it's all the Lord's will. But anyway, yeah, that's basically the main point, you know. You gotta go into the prophecies to convince someone. You know, then you start, you know, telling them about the laws, things like that. You know, with Acts 15. God, this is good. 28. For it seemed good to the Holy Spirit to tell and to us to lay upon you no greater burden than these necessary things. So this is a letter that if I'm not mistaken, the the apostles sent to the Gentiles, you know, which are Israelite foreigners in Antioch, you know, with Syria and Cilicia, right there. So you want to lay upon them things necessary. You didn't want to lay them the whole law, you know, as of yet. But it's a couple necessary things in order to ease them in, you know. And people immediately start pushing people on the Sabbath day and things like that. You know how hard it is to actually keep the Sabbath day? You know? I mean, I tell you personally, I think everyone can agree that in this wicked flesh and in this wicked captivity, it's impossible to keep the Sabbath day holy. Do you know how how hard it is to actually keep the Sabbath day holy? Because according to scriptures, we can't do our own pleasure on the day. You know how hard it is to resist the flesh and doing your own pleasure? And how minute your own pleasure can be, and let alone things like work, necessary things you need to do, things like that. The condition you're in at the moment, it's quite literally impossible to keep the Sabbath day holy in this captivity. Yet niggas act like it's the most, easiest thing to do, and the first thing you need to know. And if you're going off at once, you're wicked. Crazy. But anywho, 29. You abstain from meats offered to idols, and from blood, and from things strangled, and from fornication. Fornication, in concerns to the New Testament, concerns to the New Testament, talk about the adultery. From which if you keep yourselves, ye shall do well, fare ye well. But anywho, that's also a couple things you need to do as well. We all need to do is, stay away from meat with blood in it, the bloody meat, and strangled meat as well. And also meat offered to idols, because that gets you into idolatry. Only food's a food, but that'll get you wrapped up in idolatry and things like that. Especially back then, because it's got all sorts of temples, things like that, to the gods, and you get the point. And your Lord, when you fight, of course, praise on glorification to YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM QADASH, BRAKADE YAHAWAH, BRAKADE YAHAWASHI, call him YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM QADASH, praise YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, SHAM QADASH, and of course, in double honors, the possible millstone, teacher well. Shalom.